At 118 years old, Dracula's beloved daughter Mavis found her zing when Johnny, a human backpacker, stumbled into their hotel for monsters, Hotel Transylvania. Despite Johnny's lack of fangs and Mavis's full vampire genes, 7 years later, the two, Mavis, now 125 years old, and Johnny, 28, fell madly in love and decided to get married. Later, they had a baby, Dennis. Vampa Drac insisted on calling him by his vampire name, Denisovich. Johnny's human family and Dracula's monster friends loved the new addition. But was the baby human or vampire?
Technically, you have until you're 5 to get your vampire fangs,
Wayne the werewolf explained. Frankenstein, Murray the mummy, Griffin the invisible man, and Blobby agreed.
Oh, he'll get his fangs. He's a Dracula,
Drac bragged. Years passed at Hotel Transylvania and things changed. Humans and monsters learned to coexist. Mavis was a doting mom. She baby-proofed the hotel and fed Dennis only avocados. Drac hated this type of coddling, especially Dennis's favorite video series, Cakey the Cake Monster. The concerned Vampa constantly checked Dennis's mouth for signs of fangs.
Dad, please, he's practically 5 already. Don't force it.
Unlike Drac, Mavis did not mind if Dennis turned out to be human. Other monster kids at the hotel didn't care that Dennis was fang-free. Winnie, a girl wolf pup, was head over tail in love with Dennis. At a werewolf birthday party, Winnie gave her crush a big hug.
Dennis, I love you, zing!
She exclaimed, knocking Dennis to the ground. Dennis was having a blast. Then, during a frenzied bout of musical chairs, Dennis's tooth was knocked out.
Oh, yes, indeed. Here comes the fang,
Dracula predicted. Mavis blamed herself for putting Dennis into such a dangerous situation.
This is Denisovich's home,
Dracula said. He tried to convince Mavis that, monster or not, the boy needed to get used to a little roughhousing. Mavis did not agree.
We've been talking about moving. Somewhere safer for Dennis. Maybe where Johnny grew up in California. I'm sorry, but you can't just make somebody something they're not.
Drac's friends agreed that too many cakey videos and avocados stunted Dennis's adult fang growth.
So maybe you gotta get the kid around more monster-y things.
Ooh, Frank suggested. Drac's eyes lit up. What a great idea. He would send Johnny and Mavis on vacation. Then, Drac and his monster friends would have Dennis all to themselves for scary monster activities, and Dennis would be sure to sprout fangs. Mavis agreed to a trip to California to see if Johnny's hometown was a good place to raise Dennis. After Mavis and Johnny were whisked to the airport, another hearse pulled up to the hotel. Drac, Dennis, Frankenstein, Wayne, Murray, and Griffin all rushed to the vehicle. Blobby couldn't fit inside, so he rode a rascal alongside. The gang was off, determined to bring out Dennis's inner monster. Each monster tried to show Dennis how they used to scare humans. Frankenstein jumped out of the bushes to freak out 2 joggers. Unfortunately, Frank was so famous that the joggers were excited to see him. They even asked for a photo, so Frank happily took a selfie with them as Dennis devoured an avocado. Then it was up to Wayne and Murray to show Dennis how scary monsters behave. But a frisbee distracted Wayne from chasing down a deer, and Murray threw out his back trying to conjure a sandstorm. The trip was almost over, and Dennis showed no trace of fangs.
Hey, you know who could fix the kid in a snap? Vlad.
Frankenstein offered. Drac refused to consider calling his dad.
What? We don't need to call Vlad. We got this.
Determined as ever, Drac led the group to the top of a rickety tower. The other monsters tried to object, but Drac wasn't having it.
Quiet. This is how they learn. You throw them and they figure it out. It's how I was taught.
Dracula tossed Dennis off the tower and he plummeted toward the ground with no sign of flight. Dracula flew off and saved Dennis just in time. A passerby filmed it, and the video went viral. The families finally realized the kids were missing. Drac blamed himself for putting Dennis in danger. Vlad shook his head.
You're a fool!
Drac snapped back at Vlad.
Your great-grandson is the sweetest, kindest, most special boy I've ever met. And if you can't give him the love he deserves because he's half human, then you're the fool.
Dracula was sick with worry about Dennis.
Where could he be?
Bella had Dennis and Winnie in his clutches. Winnie bit Bella's hand, and Bella flung Winnie off, throwing her to the ground. Dennis was enraged. His eyes transformed to a fierce red, and he sprouted beautiful sharp fangs as he transformed into a bat. Exploding with vampire power, Dennis roared with a booming vibration that hurled Bella into a tree. Dennis's howl echoed through the woods, loud enough for the worried families to find the kids. Bella tried to run when he saw Drac and the gang approaching. Before he could, Vlad burst to the front of the group and froze Bella in his tracks.
Don't ever come near me or my family again.
Dracula was overwhelmed with a new love and respect for his father. Dennis ran to his vampa.
Papa Drac, I'm a vampire and a superhero. Am I cool now?
Dracula embraced Dennis, so happy to be reunited.
Dennis, you were always cool. Human, vampire, unicorn, you're perfect no matter what.
Grateful to be safe and reunited, the group returned to Hotel Transylvania to continue Dennis's 5th birthday celebration. When Mavis called out,
Let me hear you sing!
Everyone joyfully sang happy birthday to Dennis. Then ate cake, surrounded by loving family and friends, both human and monster. The end.